poker has always been a male-dominated game. But in 2007, something incredible happened that changed everything. A young Norwegian woman, not even old enough to legally play in American casinos, entered one of the world's toughest tournaments, outplayed seasoned professionals, and walked away with millions, just one day after her 19th birthday. Her name was Annette Obrestad, an online poker player known for her hyper-aggressive style and for once winning a small tournament without even looking at her cards. But there was one problem. Online players rarely excel in live poker. For Annette, this was her first major live tournament. So how did this young woman manage to defeat the pros and pull off one of poker's biggest upsets? After dominating the first 2 days, Annette emerged as the chip leader among the final 17 players. Right from the first hand of the day, she showcased her fearless style.
Annette Obrestad, the 18-year-old teenage online sensation.
She has amassed over 900,000 chips.
And you know, sometimes online skills don't carry over to live. And in her case, she's kept that aggressiveness up as she opens with the 4-5 offsuit. That's pretty aggressive.
Round to Magnus Persson, who has a Queen Jack.
And Magnus also plays a lot online. I think he understands the type of game she plays, how aggressive, and that's why he's defending here more than any other reason. He's playing the player, not his cards.
Magnus checks his bottom 2 pairs.
And that's a great way to play against Annette. Use her aggression against herself.
True to form, she comes out firing. With the straight draw there, he might want to finish this now.
Absolutely. With a straight draw and a flush draw there, he's got to go ahead and raise it right here, right now.
Just a call.
Dangerous play.
8 puts another flush draw out there. He checks once more. And once again, Annette shows the tiger in her tank, pushes in a big stack of chips.
You know, sometimes when you get a call on the flop, you got to back off.
Well, she'll certainly see some smoke coming through the woods now because he's called her second big bet.
Oh, and what a card, 4 to a straight on the board. Now he's got to be afraid of a million different hands. This is why he should have gone ahead and bet this hand, shown the strength on the flop.
150,000.
And she was the original raiser. She could have a hand like ace-king or ace-queen. There's a lot of hands that beats him right now. This is a really tough call. And he makes it anyway.
Moments later, she found herself in a crucial showdown with Kenny Tran. After Obrestad made a bet on the turn, she was eliminated from the hand and dropped to second in chips among the remaining 14 players. But as they say in poker, fortune comes and goes, and disaster struck again when she got involved in a massive pot against the tournament's third largest stack.
And once again, Annette looks down and she's got a pocket pair.
Well, 2 3s isn't a hand you want to get too frisky with. You either raise it, try to take it down right here, or limp and hope to flop a set.
She has gone for the raising option, as you'd expect from such an aggressive player. She's going to get a call from Johannes Corsair. The Swede has picked up pocket queens.
Well, she might get a raise. If I wake up with 2 queens right there, I'm going to re-hit it.
And that is exactly what happens.
And because of her aggressive image, now she has to decide whether to defend or not.
I'm all in.
And she did more than defend. Wow! She pushed all in. And she's got Corsair covered. This is a tough call for him.
I call.
And he makes the call. What a huge spot, and Obrestad is in trouble.
Now she's in real trouble. Set of queens. She's going to need running 3s.
That shuts the door. She's drawing dead.
Her inexperience in live poker and ultra-aggressive play nearly cost her a huge portion of her stack. Many players would have panicked in that situation, but Annette simply composed herself and kept playing.
Wired sevens for Annette Oberstad.
I think that might bring her aggression back out. Might see her come out.
Yeah, she didn't stay in her shell for long. And now William Durkee has got a pair of crabs. Makes the call.
So that's the great thing about playing lots of hands. You get paid off when you actually have real hands.
And one of our short stack players, it is Kenny Tran. He's picked up the big slick. I think he'd be calling in the movers here. And he says all in.
And that's what you want to be with Ace King. You want to be the raiser, not the caller.
I'm all in.
Annette goes all in over the top. She wanted to isolate Kenny Tran, and that, of course, gets rid of Durkee's small pair. The cards will go over, and we'll see that we are in a race.
And his tournament life is on the line. And looky right there. So far, so good.
It's the king, way in front now. Oberstad can't even draw to hearts because Kenny has the ace, so she'll need to hit a 7 or running cards for a straight.
And oh, there's the 7 right there. And now Kenny Tran's drawing dead.
Annette needed to rebuild, but just a few hands later, she was in a spot where her tournament life was at risk.
It's 10 and she says all in.
And you know, in her spot, I don't blame her. Put the decision back on person. If he doesn't have a real hand, win this pot right here. And he calls. He reasoned it out that Oberstad could be out of line here, and she was, and now she's in a dominated situation, and she's going to have to get lucky, or her tournament is over.
Here comes the flop, 5 of diamonds, deuce of diamonds.
Oh, gosh. Right as you make this great call, you really think you made this great call, and now he needs a jack. Wow, he's got to have just a jack and a jack only, or else Annette Oberstad is going to double up.
And she has done.
Better lucky than good, huh?
With that, thanks to a critical double-up, Oberstad climbed back into the top 5. Only 10 players remained, and the final table was within reach. Annette could have sat back and waited patiently, but instead this young threat decided to take her aggression to the next level.
And he's been relatively quiet at this table.
You're waiting for a big hand, and here is one. Ace 9 at a short-handed table. Certainly worth raising with.
When you're down to 6 players, any ace is worth opening with a raise.
What will Magnus do with the bird hunter's hand? The bullet and the duck. He gets rid of it. But a pair of 6s for Dominic Kay. We've seen him lay down 9s.
Well, he did that after the flop. I have a feeling he's going to see another flop, and he does. Now, this might price Annette. Well, it might not have priced her in deuce 7 offsuit.
Oh, this is a staggering move. She's re-raising with the worst hand in Texas Hold'em, 7 deuce.
I wonder if she thinks there's a bonus for that right now. Wow. Well, you know, when you read weakness, you have to play back at it, and Annette Oberstad read weakness. And the irony of the situation is now Kay is under the squeeze play. Annette Oberstad has put the squeeze play on Kay. And I think he realizes it might be. But he only has 2 6s, and he's going to be out of position against an aggressive opponent with another big stack.
It's a tough decision for Dominic Kay. There's no way of knowing for him that he's way in front with the 6s, and he'll get nothing from Annette's impassive face.
She's definitely a stone and not giving anything up at all. And that's what we call power poker.
Her strategy of psychological warfare, playing any 2 cards, sent a clear message to the remaining players. After brutally eliminating poker legend Gus Hansen, the final table was set. A 19-year-old girl was now battling a group of seasoned live poker pros who were terrified of what this teenager might do to them. Her play at the final table was so dominant that one pro even tried to have her disqualified because of her age. When the final table began, Oberstad had a rough start. After a few unlucky hands, she was left short-stacked and needed a quick double-up.
And each one of them trying to give themselves a chance to win the £1 million first place prize.
Magnus Persson He's going to take his chances with the pocket sevens. It is smaller though, fives. How aggressively does he wish to play this?
He just flat calls.
Oyvind folds from the button. Tabatabai has 7-3 and gets rid of it. But look at this. Annette Oberstad says all in with the jacks. Is that too big a bet for Persson or Corsa to mess with?
I'm on it.
And he does go for it, makes the call. Now Corser doesn't have any choice but to muck these 2 5s, and he does.
Please don't have ace queen.
I don't have ace queen.
Good.
And saying I don't want you to have a 50-50 shot. But you'll see the good news, she's a 4-1 favourite. As long as she can dodge a 7, she is going to double through. And that's a great flop for her.
Did anyone fold a 7?
Oh, and
Make that 100%.
just to put the knife in the back of Persson. Wow.
A full house, Annette Oberstad, and that is a massive pot.
Players were eliminated one by one, but Oberstad kept fighting, and suddenly only 3 remained. However, she had the smaller stack and knew she needed a big move to contend for the title.
That would certainly get my heart beating a little bit faster. Let's see what Jack Queen does for Annette Oberstad. Not bad cards, 3-handed, and she raises.
As she should from the button with that hand.
Matthew McCulloch calls with a suited King 9. And John Tabatabai stares down at a genuine monster hand.
And he is on a hot streak. He wakes up with another big pair. He's definitely going to have to re-raise right here, try to build a big pot.
And that is what he has done.
Oh, and Annette Oberstad moves all in and gets called instantly. She's got to hate her hand. He called so quickly, she can't be ahead. And both of these players have been playing so aggressive, that's what brought this call out.
Not a good flop for Annette. She'll need running spades, a queen to win it, or a straight in the middle to chop. And now it has to be a queen. Only 3 outs, or she's out. But she'll want to open them now. She has hit the miracle queen.
Luck be a lady tonight.
Hey, I want those.
That's exactly what you're getting.
Winning in poker takes courage and a lot of luck. Mickelson busted in 3rd place, and now it was heads up. When security brought out the $2 million first place prize, Oberstad could see victory within reach. In the first hand of heads up play, Annette once again found herself with Queen Jack and flopped one of the strongest hands she'd had all tournament.
As if the money isn't enough pressure, they put the bracelet on top of the money. You've got to look at both of them and still play your best.
Queen Jack for Annette. And she got very lucky with earlier to stay in the tournament against John Tabatabai.
And interesting enough, she just flat calls with the same hand she raised with earlier.
With a 6-10 suited, John says we'll see 3 in the middle. And look at that, Annette has flopped a Broadway straight, and John's hit a piece of it.
She's now trying to extract anything she can out of John Tabatabai.
Having been so loose, she can get paid off. And John giving her a gimlet gaze. And that's a card that's going to get him into a heap of trouble.
He's got to believe he's got the best hand now. This is really a tough spot for Tabatabai.
He would need to make quads or a full house to get away from it if the money goes in. But he's keeping it quite small. Annette is going to count out a raise here.
She's playing very metered, very intentional, as if she might be on a bluff. And now John Tabatabai has to deduce, why did she not raise pre-flop if she had a hand that contained these types of cards in them. This is a tough, tough decision for him, and I don't think he's going to be able to get away from this hand. He flat calls. He's going to need a 6, a 10, an ace, or a king to take the lead here.
Another diamond puts a flush out there. That might save him just a little bit of money if he thought Annette was on a draw.
And he tries to put a blocking bet out there to keep Annette from raising. Unfortunately for John, Annette's a really aggressive player. She might sniff right through this.
Flush, of course, may chill her veins a little. Apparently not. Over the top. John really deep in the tank now. There are plenty of hands that beat his trip tens. Could he live with himself if he threw it away?
Everything tells me that I'm beat. But, as you know way too well, I can't fold. I'm guessing you got Queen Jack, but not cool.
Cool. All right, John made the call. Queen Jack for an ace-high straight.
And even after calling out Annette's exact hand, he still paid her off.
With such a massive pot at stake, the momentum shifted and the bracelet was almost hers. What happened next became one of the most incredible moments in poker history.
Definitely both going to get involved in a lot of hands, that's for sure.
On the button with connectors. Tabatabai makes the call. And look at this, Annette's woken up with an overpair. Sevens.
She'll definitely take an aggressive stand with those. She makes a raise.
100,000 more over to the Welshman. Decides to see a flop. $250,000 and some in the middle.
Wow, what a flop.
2 pairs for Tabatabai. Top set for Annette Oberstad.
And I don't think there's any way that John Tabatabai can get away from this hand without at least losing some chips.
Remember, another 5 or 6 would give Annette a bigger full house.
Right now, it has to look like Tabatabai has the best hand. He has to feel like he has the best hand. I don't think he can just call here. I think he's going to have to raise.
If you enter a pot with 5-6 and you make 2 pairs, you've got to be happy. And the chips do go in.
And John Tabatabai has to believe he has the best hand. Annette Oberstad could easily just have an overpair, overcards, or a flush draw.
I'm all in.
Oh my gosh, and she puts him to a decision for his tournament life.
The crowd stand up. They know that if John calls and loses, we have a winner.
I call.
And he calls. But he's not going to like what he sees.
Only running cards for a straight to chop this, or unlikely quad 6s or quad 5s to win it. It's going to keep John Tabatabai in this tournament.
And it's over right there on the turn.
River is irrelevant. That turn card, the climactic moment in this tremendous event. We have a champion. We have a World Series of Poker bracelet winner, Annette Oberstad.
The Norwegian online phenomenon has become the youngest player in the history of the World Series of Poker to win the coveted bracelet.
In a game ruled by men, Annette Oberstad didn't just win. She paved the way for women in poker and made history. With the support of friends and family, she broke barriers and shared that unforgettable moment.